looks like I'm going to be going first again.
You probably just heard me on one of my videos that I was reviewing. I can keep this. I'm not going first on this one, and that's okay. Right, I'm going to get out with some of this cheap stuff for the card advantage. And then once I'm able to... Oh, he gets to toss my Foundry Inspector. So I'm not going to be able to do my Implement of Combustion at Terrarium for free. Maybe I will anyway. Marionette Master's a bomb, but games don't necessarily go long enough to get it on the board. I'm going to go ahead and get a Swamp. I think that's the only Marionette Master that I have in the deck. So, probably not real important for me to have more than one Swamp, but we'll go ahead and get it out there. On turn 3, I'll be able to play my Foundry Inspector, and if he doesn't have anything to counter it or kill it with instant speed, then I should hopefully be able to dump out some of that other stuff for free. At least that's the idea. It would be nice to have one of my Reckless Fireweavers out. Exile target non-land permanent. Alright, he's taking a little hit for it. I'm not sure how I feel about Anguished Unmaking. It's a card that you can do a lot of stuff with, but 3 life and 3 mana is a pretty big hit. So I will go ahead and end my turn there, since I can't cough the rest of my Terrarians out. Ahead. Set my implement for the card draw. See what options I've got here. So then I'm going to put out my Fireweaver. before the Terrarian. There are situations where I'll go ahead and attack directly with a Reckless Fireweaver, but I can make sure that I'm recording here. And I am. Very good. Shambling Vent. Two and three and one and two. All block the vent. So this is something that comes up frequently. A lot of the time you want to be able to use the Terrarian to have the mana for Pia's Revolution, but you want to get Pia's Revolution out before you sack the Terrarian. In this instance, we are far enough along already with 5 lands that I'm going to go ahead with Pia's Revolution first. And then I'll pay red and black to make red and black. Doesn't matter which one's first. If he gives it back to me, I'll just cast it again with the red and black that's still in my... And that ends up being direct damage to him still. So it's a good spot to be in with this deck to have a Reckless Fireweaver and Pia's Revolution both on the battlefield at the same time. I've already cast land for turn. And it looks like I can only afford one more Terrarian. And it would not be too crazy to attack with my Fireweaver, but it's more helpful as a blocker here, I think. I'm not real familiar with what my opponent is doing at this point. He's going to fumigate away my one Reckless Fireweaver. One, two, three. I will go ahead with my Scrap Trawler. I will sack my Terrarian. Doesn't matter too much which order I'm going in. I've got to pick my mana first. Good opponent. I've got one opponent. Thanks for asking. And I've got a Ravenous Intruder. That's a nice one to have out too. I will. That gives me a use for my Prophetic Prism. And I can use that with Pia's Revolution also. essentially unlocking that value. Right here, I'm going to go ahead with my implement, and then I'm going to sack it right away. And mana cost 1 or less. Do I want the map or do I want a Terrarian? I have enough swamps out at this point that I'm going with the Terrarian for now. Right. He's taking the damage. He may not be able to afford that choice before too long. I'm still not real sure what he's trying to do with this deck of his. On to turn 7. Alright. What are you doing, Tansley? Alright. We're going to game 2. I'm going to stick with what I had since I haven't figured out what he's trying to do yet. I don't know. Maybe his deck is intended to deal with some of the more common decks in Standard right now, the aggro to mid-range creature-based stuff. That looks like a whole lot of 0 lands. I'm not going to keep that one. Or that one. Land. I guess I'll keep that. We may go to game 3. This one gives me something to do on my first turn, so I will put it on top. Plus it gives me a chance to probably draw something. He's probably just doing some sort of Esper control that wasn't quite tinkered to what I was doing. And I probably sound like an idiot to everyone that's familiar with his deck. Haven't seen that one in a while. – He's old with the name like 1974. Might as well use some old cards for standard. He's going to push my intruder, and I'll just let him. Ooh, that was about all the removal I had in the deck. Not that it sets me that far behind right now. Put out a Fireweaver. I'm a big fan of Fatal Push. I couldn't stand to hold on to a $9 uncommon while I knew it was going to be printed as a F&M promo. Ended up trading mine away. We'll see if I can get the promos later. I've been struggling with land, so I will go ahead and put out my Renegade map. And use my implement. And hopefully, well, I can play land next turn. But he's on curve. Gideon. Okay. It's the first I've seen that in this game. That ought to be able to beat my deck by itself. We'll see. So no land there. I will get myself a swamp. And yeah, I'll put out the Fireweaver. We'll see if he has another Fatal Push for it. Yeah, I actually will hit Gideon. Because I don't want him to Anthem. I'm not sure if he's trying to make tokens for Westvale or what he's doing at this point. 1/1 Death Touch, I will take 1 damage. And exile away a card. Apparently that's where all my land was. Maybe it really was where all my land was. He's just making nines. I'll block one of them. Take 3. Champion of Wits. Didn't even have a chance to see which one he hit me with. But that's okay. That was a declaration. That's why I've got a clue. Makes sense. Clue ends up being nice for me though. I'm gonna make him discard his card. So there. And I assume he's going to swing hard now. He's not swinging. What is this guy doing? Guess we'll never find out.